A fantasy fanatic has spent more than £25,000 on plastic surgery as he wants to become a real-life elf. Luis Padrón, 25, from Buenos Aires, Argentina, became obsessed with the world of elves, angels, and fantasy beings after being bullied as a child. He became determined to look like his favorite otherworldly characters and started bleaching his hair and skin. He now has a £4,000 a month ritual applying specialist creams, dyes, treatment in SPF 100 sunscreen. He has almost spent more than £25,000 on surgery including liposuction on his jaw, a nose job, full body hair removal and operations to change his eye color. Mr. Padrón gets unusual looks but says he doesn't care what people think and said he won't stop until he has fully transformed into an elf. He is planning surgery to make his ears pointed, hair implants for a heart-shaped hairline and a limb lengthening operation to make him 6 feet 5 inches tall. The 25-year-old, who sells cosplay merchandise, said, "I want to be an elf, an angel, and a fantasy being. My aim is to look inhuman, ethereal, graceful, and delicate. I have my own beauty ideal and want to achieve that no matter what. I want to have my ears cut to become pointy like an elf's, my jaw to look more sharp like a diamond, a facelift, and an eye lift to give my eyes a cat-like shape. I am also consider having muscle implants too. There's also a surgery to make you taller and I will remove 4 of my ribs too, so that I can shape my waist to make it thinner." He added, "People have stared at me ever since I was a teenager, so it's very normal to me now. I like people staring at me and don't care what they think. Even when I'm not dressed up like an elf people stare at me. I have had long white hair for 5 years, I use larger contact lenses and I am very tall. I use makeup to enhance my features so they are more angelic and wear clothing that's more stylish or antique. I consider myself trans species. In the same way transgender people feel, I need to become how I feel inside. I don't expect people to understand but I ask they respect it. The fantasy genre makes me happy and because I didn't have many friends when I was younger I submerged myself into it." Mr. Padrón fell in love with the fantasy genre during his early teenage years, while struggling with bullies who mocked him because he dyed his hair and had different dress sense. But by the end of high school, he claimed his quirkiness led to him being admired, which further fueled his desire to be different. He added, "I was bullied as a child and as an escape I would submerge myself in fantasy movies like Labyrinth and The Never-Ending Story, as well as other fantasy tales. Over time things changed. Older teens liked me because I was unique and that's what encouraged me to start turning what I felt on the inside into a reality. I started with cosplay but it wasn't enough, I wanted to change to become my own perception of beauty." At the age of 14, he was determined to undergo surgery to look more like an elf and 6 years later he went under the knife for the first time. He recalled, "It was the start that led me to decide this was the direction I wanted my life to go in. The recovery was painful and slow but I was happy with how I looked. I didn't care for how much it hurt, because it allowed me to get one step closer to my dream of what I want to become." In his quest for fantasy perfection he continued to have more than 40 fillers, full body hair removal and laser skin bleaching to remove any freckles and Botox. Additionally, he underwent medically unapproved treatment to change his eye color from a honey brown to a crystal blue, leading to some painful side effects. He said, "It was without anesthesia, was very painful and meant I had to use eye drops and extremely black sunglasses. Essentially I became like a vampire with extreme photosensitivity. At first even watching stars in the sky was painful but 3 days later they felt normal again. I don't know how they affect my sight in future. It hasn't turned to a crystal blue color yet, unfortunately they are currently a grayish color, but I'm still hopeful as I have 4 more sessions left." From his unusual looks, he's forged a career modeling and is even paid to make appearances as a real-life elf at events. But his lifestyle comes at a cost, with a $5,000 monthly cost to continue bleaching his skin and hair, high sunscreen to prevent his skin from tanning, contact lenses, makeup and care products. "I don't consider this an obsession, but in fantasy you have all of the hope, love, friendship, and good feelings," he said. "This helps me to feel like a good person, but in fantasy you have to be beautiful not only on the inside but the outside too. This has changed my life for good in so many ways, I can't even begin to describe it."